Hello everyone, let's make a quick tutorial on how to get up and running as quickly as possible and go over a couple of little features in a basic tutorial. Okay, so here I have a blank Google Sheet and I am going to make a quiz as quickly as possible. First thing I need to do is have some headers, so I'm going to go ahead and add those in. And for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just going to stick with very basic headers and build a very basic quiz. And you can see I have form title, the question type, and I could put anything in here as far as a question type that Google Form recognizes, such as short answer, checkboxes, multiple choice, etc. I would need a correct answer, of course. I need a question number. Well, actually, I don't need a question number. Google Forms will not make a question number on its own, but SheetFormR will annotate the text in a Google form where you can have question numbers, which is always something nice to have. I've had plenty of times where a kid will say, I don't get number 8, and I have to scroll down and count 8 questions to figure out what they're talking about. So having the question mark or question numbers would be very nice. How much points each question's worth, the text of the question, and then of course my answer options. So again, this is just a basic test. We'll just stick with these for now. I'm going to come over here to the rail. Oh, I need to add my questions first. So next thing I'm going to do is add my questions in here. Now I'm just pasting these in from a file that I already had, but this is what I would have. I have the title of the test is Disney test. They're all going to be multiple choice. These are the correct answers. My question numbers, each one will be worth 1 point. Here's my questions, and then here's my answer options. All right, let's come over here into the interface. So I can open it in compact or wide. I prefer to honestly use compact most of the time, and I'll show you why in another video. But for this, we're going to use wide just so everybody can see a little bit better. It's going to be the same thing, except it's just over here and it's skinnier. I'll show you real quick. So I can move this to compact, and I have the same things over here, the same ability to do whatever I want to do. I'm just going to put it back to wide so we can see it a little bit better for what we're doing. Now it's going to load the sheet that it's working on, and it's going to always load the sheet that you have selected. And I have selected down here Disney test, so that's what it chose. If I wanted to build a test off a different sheet that I have down here that's open, like for example this Star Wars one, I could come here and change it. I don't have to go and change the sheet. I'm going to leave it on Disney test for now. When you open it, you probably didn't notice, but I had a little auto map that happened down here, and it shows up right here. I will show you what I mean by that. I'll change the sheet real quick, and it will automatically auto map that. You can see how it came and it auto mapped that. Let's go back to my Disney sheet, and it will do that again because I changed the sheet. I can also go over here to my mapping and make sure that everything's mapped correctly. And the way this works is this is the form title it's looking for, and it found it in column A. It's looking for a form description, and there is no form description header up here, so it didn't put anything there. It's looking for a question number. It found that in column D, and column D is right here. There's the question number. Question type, so looking for that here, and so on. You can see that I don't have anything for images. I don't have anything for an image caption. I don't have anything to tell if it's required or not. And if you don't know what that means, I'll show you. It found answers in 4 different columns. I can have up to 8 different options for answers, but for this I only have 4. And then if I come down a little bit, I have options for other types of questions that we are not going to get into right now. I have options over here to build this. I can make it a quiz mode, which is probably what most teachers are going to want to do. I could turn it off if I want to, but I'm going to enable that for this, so that way it builds it as a quiz. The only thing I'm going to add here is I am going to, nope, I'm not, it's already checked. So I'm going to apply the title and the description, and that's nice because it will name my file name for me, and it will name the quiz for me. I'm going to add this other check right here, and this will append the date and the time to the file and the file name. So what that means is when it goes into my Google Drive, it will have a date and time attached to it. So if I ever want to find this later, I can, or if I'm very good at keeping my Google Drive organized, which I'm not, but some of you probably are, I will be able to organize that by year, by month, by semester, however I want to do that. And if you don't want that, you could always turn it off. And I'm definitely going to always have my question numbers checked. I can't see a reason why I wouldn't. I don't have images here, so I'm going to go ahead and unclick that for this test. And then here, if I have a database full of, questions right here, if I'm a high school teacher maybe, and I have a lot of questions on a subject, but I don't want them all on this test, I can choose which questions I want. So let's say I wanted, one numbers questions 1 and 3, and I wanted questions 6 through 9, and that's it. I could choose that, and it would only build numbers 1, number 3, and then 6 through 9, so 6, 7, 8, 9. Kind of like a printer dialog page. I want all of them, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete that and leave that open, or leave that blank. And then I can come here to my pre-flight if I want to, and what that's going to do is just to check to make sure that everything got mapped correctly and I don't have things astray that are going to have my build not work correctly. I can hit preview if I want to really quick, and it will build a preview of the test. It will show me what it's going to look like, what is the correct answer that I have chosen. So who is the snowman that Elsa creates? And it's Olaf. That's the correct answer that Google Forms will be looking for, and so on. So this all looks good. I'm going to go ahead and build that. I can push this button here, build this form, or I can come up here and choose this create form. They do the same exact thing. The only thing left here to make a decision on is, do I want, when my form is created, do I want it to open in a brand new tab on its own? I can hit that or check that and then hit create form, and it will do that. I'm going to leave it unchecked right now. And I'm going to create the form. It's going to say, are you sure you want to do that? And I do want to do that, and I am very sure, so I'm going to do that. Click that OK. And for a 10-question test like this, probably take 20 seconds or so. So I have my little spinner to keep me entertained while it's doing that. And there we go, 21.2 seconds. So I was pretty close. And then I can copy the URL for the Google form, or I can just open it. And so I think I'll just open it. So let's open it up and check it out. So here's my Google form. And the only thing that as a teacher you might want to do from here is go into the settings and alter a couple things. You can see that, first of all, before we go into the settings, you can see that my form was created using those questions. I can click on these to make sure that my answers got selected, and they're each worth 1 point. Now, they're not required. I could have added a column for that and clicked yes, or put yes in all the cells, and it would have made all these required. We can do that in another video. Again, I was just doing a basic video here. I like to go to settings, and unfortunately I can't do this through the SheetFormR app because Google won't let me change these right here. So that has to be done manually, unfortunately. So I like to let the kids get their test back immediately. I like for them to show or be able to see what they missed, what the correct answer was, and see their point values for each. I also like to change this to verified, so they just get to check a box for their email address and don't type it in correctly or incorrectly. So this is what I change. You don't have to change that, of course, but I like to do that, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now I have my questions set up, and from here I can push this out to my classroom. I could have created a classroom assignment with one of the toggles earlier on the interface page, but again, this is a basic, so I didn't do that. And it's ready to go. Nice and easy. Thanks for watching.